What's up, guys? Today we're back with another competitive analysis video, kind of a different take on this one. This is actually an idea that a viewer submitted to me to do, and I liked it a ton. I thought it'd be like a very cool idea to make a video off of. And basically, by the title, if you didn't guess, it's basically going to be the history of Gen 6 Pokemon competitively as a whole. This is the only gen that I have fully been playing, like since the day it came out to when it's going to die in, I guess, 2 months when Sun and Moon comes out. I actually did play during Black and White 1, so I guess I was there for the entirety of Black and White 2, but I was an average player, so, yeah, I mean, I really like Black and White 2, but I feel like I'm much more qualified to talk about ORAS competitively, because, you know, I'm the greatest to ever touch the game, alright, so, that being said, I'm pretty much just going to break down every metagame that we had and the changes, and this might end up being a longer video than I anticipated, and I might have to pause in the video to, like, regain some thoughts, because, again, it's been 3 years of metagame, like, I kind of have to, like, I don't remember everything by heart, but, basically, let's just start off. So, ORAS came out in XY, see, I'm already tripping, dude, because I don't script these, but, X and Y came out in, October of 2013, and I remember it like it was yesterday. Your boy came on Pokemon Showdown the day before the game came out, and somehow Smogon was able to get the leaks of the games because someone broke Street Day. They were putting all the cool mons up on the Showdown beta ladder, and I was like, this is so fire. I was having so much fun. Oh, it was on PO, not Showdown. Yeah, Showdown always one step behind the greatest server, but yeah, so that was the thing. Everybody was using their gods. I'm talking Mega Mence, I'm talking Mega Gengar, Kangaskhan, Blaziken. Oh, the days. So basically, that's what the meta was like at first. For those of you who didn't play, everyone just abused broken shit. The biggest offenders were Kanga, Mence, and Gengar. Blaziken was obviously busted as shit, but he was nowhere near the power. But the best part was you could run Blaziken in combination with Kangaskhan. That was the best part about XY, honestly. Like, I could have 4 trash Pokemon on my team, and then my last 2 would always be regular Blaziken plus one of Gengar, Kangaskhan, Mence, and I just throttle everybody. So yeah, if I recall correctly, Mence got banned in like 2 weeks easily and just got thrown out the game. I think Kangaskhan and Gengar actually took some time to ban, if I recall correctly. They were banned shortly after alongside Blaziken. I don't think there was no suspect test for them at all. They were instantly just thrown out the game. Like, people were like, you don't need a suspect test to know that Gengar and Kangaskhan are just busted out the meta. Like, you don't, like, if you really need like 200 people to vote on that, well, I don't know, you're probably bad. So anyway, like, probably a bad site. So anyway, pretty much those boys got blown out the meta, and like, obviously that was like some of the most fun I've ever had in Pokemon. But obviously they were thrown out the game pretty quick, and at that point people were really people were always using offense after those guys got banned, and they were making use of the top 3, which would be Deoxys S, busted ass Mon, Genesect, busted ass Mon, and Lucario. Oh, Mega Lucario, not that regular shit. Mega Lucario, another busted ass Mon. Like, God, I love all 3 of these Pokemon. I loved this part of XY so much. Yes, I know it was a volatile meta, but pretty much every single one of my teams filled this sort of frame. It was Latias, Rotom, Garchomp, Keldeo, Heatran, and then Thundurus over Heatran. And then one final mon of like Lucario, Kangaskhan, Heracross, whatever Mega I felt like using, because the first 5 give you such a good base. No, it was Genesect over Keldeo. Yeah, oh my god, Life Orb, Genesect, Extreme Speed, Bug Buzz, Iron Head, Ice Beam, Flames. Oh, I miss him. That's what I'm saying, dude. When Sun and Moon comes out and all these lames are like, oh my god, look at all these new Megas. You already know the first thing I'm typing in on Showdown, Genesect. I'm gonna load that bitch up and I'm gonna sweep everybody because he's the greatest Pokemon of all time. Genesect is the GOAT. But anyway, pretty much the meta was all offensive. People did use stall, and people loved using like stupid like Quagsire or Clefable stall. People were using it back then. People always put their like weird flares on it, and just like, I don't know, people were bad at using stall, honestly. People would like switch Chansey's into Charizard Y, and like which you should be able to do, but then they'd like let hazards go up, and there was no Sableye at the time, so stall was actually super average, honestly, because like, it's so easy to get hazards, everything is so strong, you don't have Sableye to invalidate half the cast. So yeah, the meta was very offensive, but then later on, a couple months after the creation of XY in February, Smogon was like, you know what, I'm tired of Lucario, I'm tired of Genesect, and I'm tired of Deoxys Speed, let's get these boys out of here. So they held a suspect test. I actually got the Rex 2.5 years ago, no, almost 3 now, because yeah, February 2014, but yeah, 2.5, to vote for these, and I put Lucario, I said it should be banned, he got banned. Genesect, I said it should be banned, he got banned. And Deoxys S, I said, do not ban. I love that broken speed I knew he was broken, but I was like, let me keep that boy. So he actually did not get banned, Deoxys S. The metagame, they all, like Smogon as a whole, I guess they just kind of let it slide, and it didn't get banned until like 6 months later in the summer. Luckily, just Deoxys S is the man, dude. But yeah, so then from there, I guess the meta kind of changed. I kind of have some replays here to show you basically what the meta looked at that time in early competitive XY. So let me just pull it up. Alright, so you look at this replay. This was one of the first SPL, I think this was like one of the absolute first SPL OU games. This is between Badoosh and PDC. And as you can see, these teams, like, look how fun Badoosh's team looks offensively. It looks so, like old, too. Conkeldurr. Anyone remember Conkeldurr when that thing was like the shit and everyone was like, oh my god, AV Conk, complete beast with knockoff. Conk sucks. Alright, Conk was bad then, it's bad now. Just Bandit Genesect, what a hot item, dude. Everybody wanted to use this boy on his team. ahhh, I have my own rant about him. Good god. Scarf Drill, remember when he was literally on every team? He's actually making a comeback now on the bird spam. Badoosh basically got 3 of the bird spam. Pinsir, Badoosh was actually one of the first people I remember using Pinsir. It was very rare. Besides, if you remember that Pinsir, Talonflame, Genesect, Raikou. Oh my god, dude, I love old XY. Rotom was actually super famous back then, like way more big than it was now. Like Rotom is still huge right now and everybody loves it, but like back then, holy cow, everybody was on Rotom's nuts. Like, jeez, it was so good to have on your team. And Badoosh is like, yeah, he's running like a pretty like nice offensive looking team. PDC's team has making use of Life Orb Latias, which used to be so good because people weren't running what's it called, T-Tar that much. Life Orb Latias is really good with defog and recover. I used to run it on almost every team. Chestnut, which he's making use of because, you know, he wants to be jam, and he's using busted ass Aegislash. So if you just skim through the battle really quick, like he's Shadow Balling, goes into Conk, Badoosh, blah 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 blah. I think Badoosh loses this game because he can't even break the dude's core. It's too like, it's way too good. So, you look back here to use, this is a guy named Adam versus Kid Buu. Again, Genesect, Aegislash, busted all these. He's running Starmie, which was like never seen before. Adam somehow was able to make fat bullshit in 2 months of XY. So shout out to this guy for just... he's a very good player. I like that guy. His team is just gross. We keep going through Zor. Oh, a classic when Joey and Great Bastard crafted the most powerful Diggersby team of all time. Again, creating Tank Zardex. Hyper offense. I had a team just like this, but I had something over Aegislash. Genesect, Bandit Sect, just like this. Every mon the same, but I had Genesect over Aegislash. Offense was so cool. AB2 running a very, very nice bulky offense. Aegislash and T-Tar to check the Lotties, and he has Zard and Keldeo to take advantage of that. Landers gets up the rocks. Latias holding water resistance plus another support Pokemon. I think Dexa ended up winning this game. If I'm not wrong, did he? Let's see. Did he lose? Did he win? I don't even remember. I actually think AB2 won this. At least it looks like that. It looks like AB2 won it. Yeah, he just wins. So, yeah. Oh, shit. Yeah, he lived. Okay. Moving from that. Oh, this was a super sick team. This was Blue's team. Look how, like, this offense looked really, really cool. I remember Blue really liked Mega Gyarados. And PDC running one of the, like, oldest examples, if you guys remember. Aegislash plus Zard Y plus Manaphy or Keldeo became a very, 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 like, popular technique because Aegislash was the best at trapping Lotties, and that way your Zard can just destroy everything. That became a very, very, very like famous technique, and there's like a big RMT about it if you want. It's called Force of Nature on Smogon. Check it out. It's not an RMT because no one like really Valentine posted the RMT, but he didn't really make the strategy. He just compiled a bunch of teams that made it. It was like more of a, this is a big thing in XY rather than him being like, I created this, because like again, no one really can be credited with this. But that was one of the really big things, pursuit trapping Aegislash. Again, Mega Lucario offense, just look at this, just threats on threats on threats. And you look at Gary the Gengar's team, Deoxys S, Gren, Lucario, Bisharp, threats on threats on threats. You can see this is what offense looked like for the most part. Again, oh my god, he came back with his ugly ass team. Adam, what are you doing? Good job of running some fire offense. CBB, who never left home without Venusaur, even though it's a shit Pokemon. This dude, PTTP, is a lord. Triple weather, Deoxys, Keldeo, Drill. That's fire. I don't even know why he's a Politoed. Random waste of a spot. CBB, you know, skillless, so, you know, Greninja, Double Dragon, Terrakion. Yeah, nice plays, bro. This was actually, this is Shake It Up. Running some, like, I don't even know what this is, versus Adam running a very cool, I actually used Adam's team a lot. This, what's it called? Hyper offense. I put Genesect over Scizor because like I was like bump a meta, and I had like a Rotom or something. And I had, it was Megatar, Genesect over this, and I had a Rotom over a Azumarill. But anyway, Hazard's like was so good because spikes are so hard to deal with. Obviously, because the only defoggers people ever gave attention to was Latios and Driller. And it's easy to take advantage of that kind of thing. So that was a really good archetype. Dragon User running what ended up becoming the standardish sand. IFM's running a troll team because this game didn't matter if you couldn't guess. But yeah, Dragon User using a team that pretty much became like the standard balanced sand archetype, as you can see, like bulky offensive. Landro, Latios, T-Tark, Keldeo, Drill. You can kind of understand that. This was in the finals. Dragon User running the most powerful offense. You see Greninja, Mawile, Thundurus, Deoxys S. Shake running his own bullshit offense with Goodra. Shake ended up winning too because, you know, he's the god. And then again, another one just displaying how offensive the meta was. Like, you could really just get away with running this kind of stuff and brute power would just destroy. Like, look at this dude's team. 6-0 by +2 Mawile. But yeah, basically that's what I'm trying to show you, that offense was a very prominent part of the metagame. As for the important teams at this time, if you guys don't know what Dio Sharp is, I will just bring that up right now. Let me find. Alright, so this team was basically made by Sinclair, good friend of mine. Alas, he quit Pokemon because, you know, he became a farmer or whatever. But anyway, anyway, this is a team he made on the ladder, and it was one of probably the most famous team of early XY. I think every single person knows it, but anyway, it just looks like basic HL, but he was the first to pretty much be like, whoa, Bisharp can take advantage of defog. Basically put this team together using broken ass Mega Luke too, and just like Scarf Chomp in the back, Nasty Plot Thundurus, like 4 setup sweeper, Scarf Chomp. Very good team. Basically, it's just like, it is the premier hyper offense. Like, you could not deal with this team. Like, I always lost this team. Like, it was because it's so hard to beat, dude. If you're running balanced, you're done. You're not gonna win. That's just how it is. Mega Luke plus Bisharp. Mega Luke itself just invalidates so many teams. And the only way I really my bad, still sick. Only way I ever beat it was like Bandit Genesect and that kind of shit. But yeah, fantastic team. Moving on, this was the other famous team, Force of Nature, the one that pretty much showed the year's current tournament trophies, SPL and OST, blah blah blah, OU, Cookie Cutter, and look, you can see the Zard, the AG, the Zard plus Pursue, Zard plus Pursue, Zard plus Aegis/Pursue. Like, you can see how like prominent this was. Valentine actually made a very good like step-by-step analysis. If you ever really want to have help making a Zard team, like, I will link this in actually I won't link this in the description because I know I'll forget. Just look up Force of Nature and in-depth guard. Just type in Smogon Force of Nature, it'll come up. But basically, he puts together how you build the team: Zard, Defog, Pursuit, Fighting type, blah blah blah, Flying Check, Bulky Ground. Like, it's, even though this is a 2-year-old thing, it still applies heavily to Zard teams today. And I've realized it's like, it's very. Let me see if I'm in the shoutouts right quick. Let me see this. Where am I at? Ooh, in this mob. Oh, there I am, boy. Okay. And with that is the first part of the meta. Let's just move on to the second part of the meta. Okay, so basically 2 months after the ban of those Lucario and Genesect, they banned Swagger. That's not that important because, like, Swagger's bullshit, and yeah, they pretty much just banned it. So I thought I should still talk about that because it did get rid of the move, which wasn't banned previously in other gens. Okay, then 2 months later, in June, they had a vote on Baton Pass, and I think Baton Pass didn't get banned or something, or it got like nerfed like slightly. So you can only have Baton Pass on like 3 Pokemon, so it's still complete bullshit. But yeah, they wanted to keep nerfing it, and they did it poorly again. So then we had the greatest time in Pokemon, July 2014. Okay, so summer 2014, my absolute favorite time playing XY. You could do so much with your teams. You could like pretty much just, like, yeah, you can have so many different variations of teams. There were only 2 guys I remember being in the meta that were just busted out the mind, and that was Mawile and Greninja. Specifically Mawile, broken, my favorite Mega of all time. I would love that thing to be unbanned right now so I could use it. Absolutely my favorite Mega of all time, but of course, I can't justify that thing returning to the metagame and killing everybody. So yeah, that's just basically how it is. But anyway, in July, I believe the 29th is when the voting started. Aegis went up for everyone to judge it. So basically, this was without a doubt the most broken thing we've ever been dealt with, barring like the super megas like Kangaskhan and all them. This thing was so stupid, and the stupidest part was a lot of people were defending this thing and saying it should be balanced. Like, I have no idea how people can ever think that Aegis should be, I don't know, allowed in the metagame. I don't really know how a King Shield that invalidates your opponents, like if they go for an attacking move, is balanced, but to each their own. So basically, Aegis just busted his shit. It basically made mind games that we shouldn't have to have. It was extremely high reward, or low risk, high reward. Extremely low risk, high reward. It was just so stupid to have to deal with. For those of you, like, and I know a lot of people who played in XY, because I know a couple people who did start in ORAS, but I feel like the majority started in XY just because, like, it was 2013, it wasn't that far ago, and Pokemon competitively has advanced like anything. Like, there's so many new people playing. But yeah, so Aegislash was up for ban, and I actually got Rex for this because I was like, this dude is going. Like, I was like, no way am I not, like, because I rarely ever go out of my way to get Rex, because, oh my god, it's so boring to ladder for Rex, because everybody's just, like, using stall and shit so they can get Rex as fast as they can. But yeah, basically, Aegislash up for decisions, and everyone was like, a lot of people, I remember at first, people were banning, and, like, me and like CTC, the CBB, the whole IDM crew, we got the votes leaked to us by some like Smogon mod or something, and he was telling us that Aegislash is not getting banned like by the voting percentage. So we were like, hell no. And basically, I don't remember who found access to it, but I think they changed this rule afterwards, because we started going to people who voted no ban. We were like, nah, you change that shit to ban right now. And then we're like finding people like. It wasn't me, alright? It was the IDM conglomerate mafia, alright? And I remember some mods said something like, it's the IDM mafia, and they keep making people change their votes. Basically, Aegislash got banned then, and that was fantastic. Yeah, luckily, I remember talking to people, I was like, change your vote, that's complete bullshit. And then after that, they made the rule that you cannot change your vote after you vote. But yeah, luckily Aegislash was taken out the metagame. That was like scary as fuck, because I was like, I'm actually gonna quit Pokemon if people don't just get rid of this Pokemon. It was busted as hell, and it barely won too. Let me go and actually just check, because I have the thread open right now. You won't be able to see it, but I have all the suspect test tabs open up on my computer just so I can kind of refresh my memory. Yeah, so Aegislash was banned with a 62% supermajority, and it needed 60% to get banned. That means literally one vote caused that boy to get banned, which is just like one vote over the amount we needed 56 votes to get it banned, and we got 57. Like, that's just, oh, that's like, oh my god, thank god Aegislash got blown away. So yeah, obviously like a super scary moment, but luckily that thing got out the way, stupid Pokemon. And from there, a lot of people were able to start using different things. Stuff like Gardevoir and Medicham started getting a rise alongside Heracross, because they were like, wow, Aegislash is gone, let's use these Pokemon, they obviously have merit. And yeah, that was like a big deal. Anyway, oh shit, Aegislash was actually, oh shit, I actually skipped something. I feel stupid now. Anyway, okay, so 3 weeks before Aegislash, Deoxys D and Deoxys S went up for trial, I guess, and basically, those two were put, and they were like, okay, let's see. And they both got just clean banned. They had a very high majority too. People were like, automatic hazards is extremely stupid from both. Yeah, they got destroyed. Like, it wasn't even a close race. Every single person was like, get these dudes out of here. Deoxys S becomes one of the scariest sweepers of all time with the speed and the coverage that it has. Deoxys D, yeah, I'm going through the votes right now. Literally every single post is banned for these two. Yeah, this is like an 80% majority, or like probably higher. Yeah, so Deoxys D and Deoxys S just got thrown out the meta extremely quickly back in July, because people were like, it's stupid. The edge they give offense is way too much. It's like having 7 Pokemon, honestly, because Deoxys S will always get up hazards, because again, 5,000 speed. Its coverage is good. You give it a Life Orb, and Psycho Boost is hard as shit to switch into, dude. Like, it has knockoff as well, so it can catch the AG on the switch, and it has taunt. The taunt recover set is a complete bitch to stall as well. Like, Deoxys was, oh, both forms just ridiculous, and they always get banned every single gen. They stay in the gen for months, and then they always get banned. Like, the Deoxys forms, they stayed in the gen for like 9 months, and then finally they were like, nope, get them out. And I pray that we get them back in Sun Moon, so again I can just keep abusing them. Alolan Deoxys, can't wait. 5 billion speed, 900 attack, it's gonna be fire. But yeah, let me just pause, see if I actually missed any other XY voting thing. Alright, the only last one I didn't even miss this one, I had it open. I just want to see if other things were there. But on late August, unfortunately, my man Mega Mawile went up for voting, and a most busted shit to ever touch the meta after the super megas and all that were banned. Everyone started running this guy because there was like literally no reason not to run it. It beat everything on its own. Like, it was, oh god damn. But yeah, Mawile, Mega Mawile ended up being just too much for people to deal with. I mean, +2 Sucker Punch, kills shit like Garchomp. Like, why should that happen? Like, so basically they got rid of it pretty quickly. Yeah, it had a super majority ban. Like, let me go look at the stats real quick just to let you guys know. I guess I should show you some replays to see what teams. Yeah, it had 78.2% Uber vote, so far above the necessary, you know, total needed. And it got kicked out of the meta pretty quick. I actually have some replays to show you about this period of XY, because basically after the Mawile ban, XY kind of took a pause, because like that was the last suspect. So let me show you guys some replays to pretty much reflect what the meta looked like. Okay, so here you see this was a very popular archetype. I used to run this team a shit ton. but I had Mawile over Heracross every now and then. But yeah, I think Joey and Hugo made this team, or no, Hugo and CTC made this team. And as you can see, they both have very similar teams, like Talon, Lando, Pharaoh, Lottie, and then they have just a different Mega and then the different water type, because this sort of style, the Fire, Water, Grass, was really solid. This team's basically Sableye Talon with Mawile over Sableye, so FLCL is straight innovator, basically predicting my god team, but he had a superior Mega to it. Anyway, Joey blew this man away in this battle, but like that's beyond the point. These were two very good teams. For the meta at the time period, like really just balanced, pretty much working to always get your Mega in. As you can see, Heracross blows him away, Mawile blows him away. Well, I mean, he had a Landorus and a Talon, so maybe not, but basically, yeah. Again, offense, as you can see, Deoxys S offense, very similar. That was like, this is Mon from on that team that Dexa used. And again, literally the same exact shit. Deoxys S, we're back at it. Deoxys S, T-Tar, AG. So, you know, this was a semis game for World Cup 2014 XY. Again, offense, of course, very big. Yeah, oh, got some Skype notifications. Oops. Again, as you can see, Dice is running something kind of innovative, and Rain sucked though, and he got beaten by the stall because Rain doesn't have a good chance versus stall, and Shake It Up is gay. And his stall, God, I hated this. Joey used this a ton too. This stupid stall, like, ew, ugly. Zardex stall basically like popped its head up, and yeah, Shake won this game. This was cool. If any of you remember this team, oh my god, Hugo made this team, and it's bad. It's a bad team. He thinks it's bad himself, but people were loving this team because Mew was really big in XY, because it could shut down a ton. Actually, one of my favorite teams of all time is this exact team, but Mew over Tarak. One of my absolute favorite stall teams. Well, it's semi-stall, but I loved it so much. I used to use it a lot. Extremely hard to break balance. Oh, such a good team, but I think Hugo made both of these teams. Yeah, Hugo made this team for blue, and just, oh, he didn't make it for blue, but blue's using it and he made it. Again, you can see, very solid team, Fire, Water, Grass. Gliscor was very nice as well. Blaragen's team makes use of Sand to support Driller, and then Hugo had Sardwai just as a killer, and then he had Gudra, backup Water Resist, Alomomola to Wish Pass, Mew to Stall Break. This team sucks, alright, it's not a good team, but Hugo somehow won every game with it, so this is a very famous team, but this type of balance build is also seen very heavily. Past that, I have no idea what Sabix was running. Innovative God. Axel 10 is running a pretty, you'd probably see a team like this now, honestly. Keldeo, Gardevoir. Again, everyone loved Drill Sand back then, because Rotom kind of dropped in usage after, like, the very beginning of XY. As you guys can see, you haven't really been seeing it too much. Logok running kind of an offensive team with Aegislash. Against Soulwind running kind of a standard Sand-type build. You usually see a Keldeo over the Suicune, but I guess he wanted to use that. Great Bastard using a pretty cool offensive Sand team. His made use of the Celebi Baton Pass. I remember this game. Hugo loses last turn to double flinch when he should have won, but what can you do? But yeah, this is a cool team, making use of Sub Pass into Zardex, which is really nice. And I think he had Stealth Rock Clef too. Actually, maybe it was Calm Mind. Then Joey used the exact same team right after and won versus Reiku, who's running a pretty offensive Sand. Stall, yeah, Stall looked like this, but Brofist had the Mega Hera Sand offense, destroyed the Stall. But yeah, this is kind of what Stall looked like too later on in the meta. Pretty similar to what it looks like now, honestly. But I guess there's like a Gliscor and a Venu and a Mew. Isn't that, I mean, whatever. This was a cool game because this was kind of like the introduction of Dragon Mag. CTC made this team, and Sinclair, JJ used it, and he ended up winning versus Soulwind's pretty offensive team. Sand again, Gothitelle sucks, but whatever. Destiny Device running Gengar, Charizard Sand, something new. Alright, so now these teams are getting kind of boring. This is like kind of more unique hyper offense, but again, standard ass HO. Only got a few more replays. Again, ugly ass team, trash team, Papino while running hyper offense. So yeah, you can see what all the teams look. Oh, this was my favorite team of XY. Yeah, right here. One of my favorites. Such a good team, such a good team. Again, you have like the bulkier guys. You got Mew, and then you have Malo. This is like one of the biggest outplaying games of all time. Like, good God. This game is... Whew, this game is a beatdown. Yeah, this game is a complete beatdown. I think Joey like 6-0'd this dude with Mew. Yeah. This game was a complete smackdown. Again, more stall. Rain. Hugo made this Rain. It was very famous for a while, and it sucks. It actually doesn't suck. I just hate Rain. JJ using Mew offense. This dude using some shit. And at this point, we're done. More offense with Mawile. Just fire, water, grass shit. More fire, water, grass. Some random offense. Yeah, so there you go. That's pretty much the end of XY. I'm just going to end it there for XY, and I'm going to move into ORAS. I told you this video might be decently long. So, again, let's just move on. I would try to limit as much of talking about ORAS as I can, but the gen has been like the gen tier kind of thing has been along double the amount XY has. So like I'll try not to talk for too long, but it might end up stretching out. But anyway, yup. So ORS came out in November, late November of 2014. Everybody was like, "Oh my God, ORS is so fire," and it was really fun. I gotta admit, one of my favorite gens all around. But yeah, so here we have the first suspect test was Greninja on January 8th. And Greninja was my absolute favorite mon, but alas, you know, these boys had to get rid of him. Basically around this time, I started really getting back into Pokemon after XY, because I was like kind of bored after XY stopped, and in the beginning of ORS I didn't really like it, but then Greninja got banned, so I was like, alright, it's time for me to create the world's most powerful team of all time, which was Sableye Talon. And as you can see, here we go. So this was one of the first times I pretty much busted out this team. December 2014, yeah. So this is like the first time I busted out in like a tournament. And I remember when I brought this, I was like so gassed because it was the strongest team of all time, and it had a Greninja, and then I turned into a Keldeo. But basically, my man's running super standard hyper offense, but I literally just led Sableye, and I started calm minding too, because that's all we ran. That's all I ran. Yup, blah 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 blah. Just like this was it was the greatest team of all time, honestly. Offense had no shot. It had no shot versus this powerful team. Yup, Sableye Ferret is the greatest team of all time. Never lost a hyper offense matchup with this Jesus-like team. That's me, Maryland. I don't like anime, alright? It was a one-time thing. So, anyway, yeah. So that's basically when people started using Sableye a shit ton too, because they were like, "Oh my God, Sableye! Oh my God, what up? Ooh. Everyone is on his nuts, and for good reason too. It was busted. But basically, then Greninja got banned shortly after, like 2 months after ORS's inception, and I'll give you a feel for what the early ORS teams looked like. 1 second, let me just bring those up. Alright, I just kind of clicked some replays that were like in like the more important rounds of SPL, so whatever. Here you go. Oh, this is also the month I made the finals of OST and lost, but I don't really need to show my teams as much because it's all Sableye Talon, so yeah. But anyway, as you can see here, Badoosh is running a pretty cool sand offense with Zardwai. Tombus is running a pretty cool team, basically running like the Keldeo, Latios, Landers, Ferrothorn like core was just so good. And yeah, I think he has a Mega Zam and a Clef, so yeah, kind of an like offense versus offense in a sense, but it's like bulkier offense, I guess. As you can see here, CTC catching Tossin's Chris because he's just a pun genius versus Moet. Moet got that ass handed to him by CTC's God team. This archetype became so famous after CTC busted it out, because you know, when the Dawn wants to shift the meta, he just does it. And basically CTC, when he created this team, like people jumped on it immediately and they were like, holy shit, this build is fire. And it was so good. Clefable plus Manaphy plus Torn plus Sizz plus Hippo plus Latios. There's actually no room for fixes. You can maybe go Alakazam over Latios and that's it. And maybe change the Clef. That's it. You cannot change Manaphy, Torn, Scizor, or Hippo. You just can't do it. Like, that's just, the team is so restricted in that sense. Very good team. I know Tsung made a team about a year later or something with a Keldeo over Manaphy, which is still good. And obviously it's his own team too, but like that's the thing. It's using the old framework, and this was like a very solid framework. In like mid-ish, like early 2015 ORS. Very good. Yeah, Moa got that ass slapped, and let's just move on. This is another one. Bengay using some kind of offense type thing, making use of Lopunny. I don't know. TDK's team sucks, so this might not be the best replay. Articuno, yeah, never mind. Wrong replay. This was something. Offense with Diancie. Road to Perdition. Ooh, JLX. So, but yeah, this is also making use of Lander's Eye. Around March, people were like, holy shit, Lando Eye is like actually fire, and people were using it a lot more because they kind of used it to fulfill what Greninja did, kill everything by being a special sweeper. So people started throwing Rock Polish Landers on teams and just beating everybody. And knockoff was also very nice because people like knocking off Torn's Assault Vest as well as destroying Lati. In fact, Mega Lati started getting usage just because people were so scared of Lando Eye because it's so hard to beat. I remember this game itself being pretty bad, but it's just kind of to show you what like the bulkier offensive build sort of looked like. This was a team CTC made. Very good team. I used it in OST semifinals, and I hacked a little bit, but I also played the greatest game of my life with it, so there's also that. Basically, it's a really good offensive team. It loses to Stall. Unfortunately, the Landers was not knockoff. It's I don't remember what the Landers Eye was. It was like Rock Polish, I think. Yeah, I used Landers T in mine, even though Lando Eye was legal, but anyway, this team is really good. One of the best offensive teams that CTC actually ended up RMTing. And CTC never does RMTs, but he was like, this team is too fire. I have to let the public know. And this is a very important game. This is the semis to put, I think, a team into the finals. So this was played very well by PDC. This is a very good team as well. that CTC made. Makes the double, knockoff, blah, blah, blah. PDC actually wins this quite convincingly because the team is like, this was making use of Weavile too. Nobody was using Weavile, and then CTC's like, bro, watch this shit. And like, it just, look at what it can do to teams. Like, no one was really understanding Weavile's true power until, you know, that's what I'm saying. People think CTC is bad. My man just retired. He is a god. Like, that's just how it works. So basically, Scarf Trend too, whatever. And he goes for Earthquake, Iron Head, Earthquake. Pursuit's there. Pursuiting was a fire play there. And at that point, the game just ends pretty easily with the Manectric. So yeah, this build very, very good versus opposing offensive and balanced builds, but versus stall, you'll get your shit rocked. So let's just move on into the next one. Okay, I have no idea what either of these niggas are running. Get this out of here. Oh yeah, CTC continued to run his Tornadus Keldeo. This team was fire too. He gave it to me to use an OST. Look how similar these teams are. Look at how similar these are. That's like crazy to see. And just like different grounds and then different steals, and then I guess, yeah, and then different, like he has a Keldeo or whatever. But yeah, again, this is a very, very popular type of archetype to run, as you can see. I don't know, both these teams are kind of whack. Yeah, I have no idea why he has a Cresselia. Like, okay, this is cool. PDC wanted to use some fat shit. He got his ass destroyed by Volcarona. Tasung's running a kind of cool team. Again, making use of Weavile because people were like, holy shit, let's, like, this thing needs to rise. It's getting really, really good. And yeah, Tasung won this game pretty easily just because Volk swept through his team. Again, now CTC perfected it. He brought this god team to finals. Y'all already know, if you've seen body bags, top 10 body bags, you've seen this team. One of the absolute best, most defining teams of XY alongside CTC's Landorus offense team, which I will just show you right now. Let me actually pull that up. But again, this is the other finals replay. I don't know what this is, and this is just standard CTC sand. So let me show you. Alright, here we go. This is one of another really famous team that people were using in Smogon Tour to pretty much farm points because it was so hard to beat. Heatran, Landorus, and then a bunch of fat pieces of shit. And this team was really, really good. Yeah, see, so CTC built this team. This team was really, really, really good, and just like it was so hard for people to beat this because it was such a. It's not like a revolutionary team by any means, but the structure and the build are so like good and sturdy that people can't break it. And then you have Lando I plus hazards in the back, and it's like, what are you gonna do? Like, geez, as soon as Greninja got banned, this team like skyrocketed to the top. Very, very good team. And yeah, basically in this meta, Weavile started to rise a lot more and that kind of thing. Suspect wise, let me go see what happened. Alright, so after Greninja's banned, end of February, Metagross went up for Suspect, and I initially thought this guy was broken too. I hated playing Metagross. I thought his coverage was stupid. I thought everything about it was stupid. But they ended up deciding that it does not need a ban, and that makes sense because right now Metagross is nowhere near broken, so it's a good thing they didn't ban it, because again, it's not busted by any means. So it's a good thing they kept it in the meta. If they banned it, that's just being a little too ban happy, and they don't really need it out the game. In May of 2015, they decided to re-vote on Aegislash if they should unban it or do not unban it. Luckily, people were like, no, keep this bitch locked up. We have no reason to keep it back. Because like the mentality was so stupid. Well, Aegislash can deal with Metagross or whatever, so we should bring him back. But luckily, people were smart enough to be like, get that out of here. Hell no. And Aegislash was kept banned. And then in June, unfortunately, they took away my baby, Landorus I. And he was so fire, but they were like, no, get him out. And they banned him. Oh, also a side note, everybody was on Altaria's nuts, like about from Oras's creation until like 8 months after, and then everyone realized slowly after, oh my god, Altaria is bad. But people were all on that Pokemon's nuts. Everyone wanted to use it, and it was super, super good. But then people were like, actually, it's bad. I'm just going to run Venusaur and Skarm and all that and just stop. And if you just play smart, it'll never sweep you. So it pretty much dropped in usage. Then later on in December of 2015, so less than a year ago, they put Shadow Tag and Sableye up for banned, and luckily they got rid of Shadow Tag immediately. Got so stupid, but Sableye they kept in the meta, which is fine. I don't think it's busted. And then the final voting was Hoopa U. So Hoopa Unbound, and I voted for it to be banned. I told other people you should just, like, I pushed for it. Like, if you ever talked to me about what I thought of this Suspect, I was like, just ban it. It's busted, extremely hard for teams to deal with, pretty much destroys balance. Another low risk, high reward Pokemon, especially if your opponent doesn't have Pursuit, because it will always get a kill. Like, Jesus, what a tough mon to deal with. So yep, I can pretty much show you kind of what the teams look like, because I'm way more like, obviously ORS is much more fresh in my memory, because like I played it more in tournaments as a whole, and you know, it's just been the most recent meta for me, so I can show you kind of what teams look like at that time. Alright, so little quick run throughs. As you can see, this was an offense from CBB based to totally crush balance. As you can see, Heracross plus Hoopa plus Manaphy will always beat balance. X-Ray's running a team pretty much really formulaic. He pretty much won this battle on turn 1. If you remember, I actually uploaded this live with CTC. But yeah, as you can see, both are running kind of an offensive build, and most people will be more familiar with these, because this is not too long of a replay ago. It was like 7 months ago. Yeah, so this is pretty much just about like this kind of offense that employed Hoopa and that kind of thing. X-Ray still making use of Altaria. I guess he decided that with Magnezone maybe it could have its usages, and it kind of did in this battle. But yeah. Past that, we had me versus Badoosh. This actually was not a good replay to click on. Never mind. This is just me using Sableye Talon and him using offense. So never mind. Oh, this was pretty good. This pretty much showed the rise of the Volturnish Metachamp. Well, actually, this did not show rise of Volturn Metachamp. This is just an example of Volturn Metachamp. This is actually after Volturn Metachamp got created. But anyway, yeah, that team is complete fire. I just want you all to know that. Yeah, pretty much Masterclass is running a similar thing. Volt turn into a strong Pokemon. Yeah, if anything, Masterclasses is more indicative of Volt turn into a powerful Pokemon, like the bulkier offense team, because he has Jirachi, Rotom, and Landorus, and like then just a good powerful Mon. But unfortunately for him, while his team is really like well made, Metachamp blew him away. So yeah. Here we have Raikou running a kind of a fat balance. Again, this is when people still kind of ran Venusaur, Skarm, Gliscor type cores, Clefable. I think this is Alexander on Smogon. He's running an offensive team, but again, he had a lot of trouble breaking through like the Venusaur and the Gliscor Skarm, and he wasn't really able to break through the defensive core, so unfortunately for him, he lost. Here we have Jam running the absolute favorite of some people, which is Fat Ground, Talon, Ferrothorn, Starmie, because that's all he can run. That's all he can run, oh my god. But PDC's running ABR's team. This was a pretty good. This like team style was popular for like a month, and then people stopped running it, even though it was good. Basically, the Tangrowth, Heatran, Lando, Lottie type thing was like really good in people's minds. Like they loved running it. I think people realized Mega Lottie sucks, so they were like, actually never mind. But at the time, this was a pretty good team style. Past that, this was like the day ABR stall was created or whatever. I remember ABR was showing me, and I was like, don't do this, and he was like, I have to do it, and I was like, okay. And then I remember when he whipped it out, and then I saw the matchup, and I was like, all right, well, I know what the result of this game is going to be. X'd out, and Tsung got blown away because his stall breakers walk around us. So yeah, this is quite a disgusting team. But yeah, this has pretty much changed the game for stall completely. Here we have the Ender running another bulkier offensive team with Lopunny. I remember I really liked this team. He ended up losing. He got hacked, but he ended up losing. But I really remember loving the look of this team. I was like, whoa, this team looks really nice on paper. He's got the whole defensive core of Latios, Amoonguss, Tran, and then he had Scarf Lando, I believe, and then Bisharp, not Bisharp, Weavile Pursuit. He was Bandit too. And this guy had no Dark Resist, so it was nice versus him alongside Lopunny. I really remember loving the Ender's team. I thought it was a really very well made team. Moving on, again, Volt Turn Metacham, and then Volt Turn Hoopa. As you can see, like look, bulkier offensive builds became very popular. Raikou running a more like stereotypical offensive build. It's the hyper offense but with a bulkier background. Like it's not so much bulky offense as it is just offensive Pokemon with good typings. ABR ran a gimmick with like Baton Pass. This team sucks. Steve Angelo running some offense. I am Gingy running some Weavile like balance. I don't know. This like it's just like their teams, like I wouldn't say they're like amazing teams like revolutionary, but like they obviously just work because they make you like Steve's team works because it makes use of offensive ass Pokemon plus Rotom. And then here this was me. I just wanted to put this replay in. I'm not gonna play it just to show this Lopunny Sand team, which is very prominent in the meta. So that was SPL. As World Cup approached, how the meta changed, not really that much. People were using Clefable a little bit less for some reason. People were really running Mega Scizors and that kind of thing. People were going back on Heracross's nuts, and the power creep kind of just increased as a whole. People really were going back to more offensive routes. Stall was there in World Cup, but it wasn't like super prominent, and there wasn't like some incredible innovation that like changed the game during World Cup, which you can't really like blame anyone about, because like it's been a while. It's been a while since ORAS came out, and ORAS is ending very soon, so there's not much you can do about that. Like, people are getting tired of the meta. People are kind of resistant to just try new things now, because like, actually there is one thing that changed. People brought back Zapdos, and that kind of made a rise too. But other than that, there hasn't been too many new changes, and with that, that's pretty much the end of the video. I mean, I think I did a way better job explaining XY than I did ORAS, but I just assume the majority of people who watch me have been around for a decent amount of time in ORAS, so they kind of know what I'm telling them already, and I kind of went over the suspect test and all that. But yeah, ORAS as a whole wasn't really as crazy as XY because a lot of the shit was already banned. Yeah, we got some new megas introduced, but like none of them got banned, I don't think. Yeah, none of them got banned. So yeah, like, yeah, that was pretty much Gen 6 as a whole. I gotta say, Gen 6, I did not like ORAS as a whole. I liked to compete in it because I just like competing, and it's not a hard gen in my opinion. Like, basically every single team besides like 4 I pretty much made like 5 of my own teams in SPL out of 11 weeks, and I used like other people's teams like that I just had because I liked them more than my own in like the other 6 weeks. And even though some of these teams were known, like this team I'm using, this Lopunny Sand team, is very well known, I was still able to win with it just because I've always been of the opinion if you're using a solid strong team, it doesn't matter if people know it because you'll still win with it. I used CBB's like CBB's OST game was seen by like 300 people. I used it in like my own OST semis game, and I just destroyed my opponent with it. Cause like that's the thing. Like even if you know the team, like what are you gonna? You can know. Like I can tell you what every Pokemon does on a team. Like now, like that's how much I played ORAS. That I pretty much know what every single Pokemon's gonna do, and I can read team styles. Like it doesn't matter if you know what they do. Like because your opponent can always just outplay you. I used Jam's Serp Talon team in Smogon Tour playoffs. The dude knew exactly what it did, but like he couldn't beat it because like it's a good team. So yeah, that's just kind of something I wanted to say that I've always been the opinion of, especially in ORAS. If it doesn't matter if they know your team, if you play well and you bring a solid background. I never innovate in ORAS, or very rarely do I ever go and like test boundaries. I'm not Jam who's confident enough to use Kofagris and stuff. And while I do like innovating and using fun stuff like Kyurem and blah 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 like that on the ladder, yeah, when it comes to tournaments, I'd rather just load up like what works and just like because I have confidence in myself to outplay any opponent I play. At least in ORAS OU, I have the confidence that I will be able to outplay any opponent I play and beat them with my plays alone. That's why I don't really stress prep that much. I guess it's kind of a cocky thing to say, but it is also my opinion that if I'm playing competitive ORAS in a tournament setting, I can outplay any opponent and I don't need to overly prep and counter team them. But that's like, basically what I'm trying to say in ORAS is that like you can win any game you play really if your team is good. Basically at the finally is what I'm trying to say. Anyway, XY was one of my favorite metas all around. Very, very fun. Lots of things you can do. Only problem that didn't get banned in time was Greninja, and even then there were ways around it. But, I mean, still it was broken. But XY, yeah, you could do a lot of different things. Fun meta for sure. But ORAS, honestly, it's just kind of a lot of that has to do with stall and shit too, save line, all that. It's just like they're boring. I wish Smogon banned with like a philosophical approach. If everybody hates it, just get rid of it. Like, but whatever. Yeah, that's pretty much my whole opinion on Gen 6. Loved XY. ORAS could have definitely used a couple of changes, and Megas are busted. So I guess now we just gotta see what comes from Sun and Moon. I can't wait to run Alolan Marowak with Swords Dance, Flare Blitz, Shadow Sneak, and Bone Meringue. So yeah, hope you guys enjoyed. Drop a like if you did. Later, guys. Peace. Always. Also. Again, if you have ideas for competitive analysis, let me know. I have the team archetype videos gonna go up soon as well.